Hey, welcome back friends, Techtail here. Today we are going to be doing part 2 of our Nihil killing series, a money-making series. So first off, we are going to be killing smoke Nihils. I was planning on doing ice Nihils, but I didn't actually look into them a whole lot, and they take 50 prayer points every single time they hit you. So you can't use any prayer with them, which means you have to bring actual food, and I just can't be bothered to do it. So we're going to be skipping over ice Nihils. Instead, we're going to be going and killing smoke nihils. Smoke nihils are going to be getting reduced damage the further away you are from them. So there's two options. Either you could use mage or range and just make sure you're in melee distance of them, or you can just use melee. I am choosing to use Drygores just because they are a little bit better for single target DPS. Obviously, if you are trying to kill multiple of them at a time, it may be better to actually use a scythe, but I just can't be bothered to try to be that sweaty palms, and I'm not sure exactly how much damage it would actually deal if you did try to kill them all at once. That being said, Shard of Zeros is also a good idea just because you obviously don't want all the Nihils to be attacking you all at once. Animal Core of Zero is going to use that entire set. Best non-degradable melee armor, as well as Bandos Boots and Bandos Gloves. The Luck of the Dwarves rings for the slight chance of Hazenmuller Signet ring. Obviously not going to happen, but always good to have that little chance. And, of course, the Max Cape, or whatever your best cape is. In your inventory, you're going to want Supreme Overload Salves. You can exchange this for just the Supreme Overloads. You don't need the salve part. I believe the salves are worth it for the prayer renewal and a little bit of extra inventory space. So I personally like the salves. It's up to you though. Need some Pack-Yak pouches as well as Winter Storage Scrolls. These are going to be so that you can bank all the tertiary drops for the summoning pouches that you're going to be making at the end here. A bunch of prayer flasks. This is how we're going to be getting our health back. 6-age circuit and the charming imp. Both of those are pretty self-explanatory. Without further ado, let's go ahead and kill about 2 hours worth of them and see how much loot we get. Okay, so just wanted to take a couple seconds to explain exactly how I killed them. I was obviously using melee due to the fact that the Shadow Nihil, the closer you are, the more damage you actually deal to them. But due to the fact that they do run around a lot, it leads to you running around a lot as well. Probably would have been better off just to have like a dart or something to tag them with at least, instead of me constantly running around. One thing that became very, very clear during this is that the combat system kind of sucks when it comes to using melee. If something is running away from you, you literally just will never catch it. Even if something is running towards you, you will literally never catch it. You will pass right by it, pass right through it, and then have to run all the way like 2 or 3 blocks past where you passed the thing, then start running back towards it again. It's absolutely atrocious, the targeting system. If you click on something, it doesn't always target it. You need to make sure it actually has a red circle around it to say that it's targeted. I don't know if that's a distance problem or if it's a line of sight problem. It was very inconsistent. Sometimes it targeted the creature when I was running towards it to attack it, other times it didn't, which usually wouldn't matter. But if you're trying to use Barge to catch up to it, it does make a big difference whether or not it actually is considered targeted or you just running towards it. I don't know why you would ever have it so that you actually click on it and you don't want it targeted. I don't know. It's a weird system, and it became blatantly obvious throughout these 2 hours that this was not going to be the most pleasant 2 hours of my life. Do want to see how the loot goes, though, because it did seem like I was getting a pretty decent loot throughout this entire thing, so we'll check it out right at the end. Hey, so just finished up killing 2 hours of the Shadow Nihils. Do have a decent amount of loot in my inventory. Do also have 1 million GP in my coin pouch. Also want to show you really fast. I do have some demon horn, obviously in my bank as well. I do believe I'm gonna convert this all to the Icene feathers because I believe that's the most money you're gonna be getting. So it's gonna be 71 Icene feathers all in all, and I'm gonna be losing a little bit of Elder energy, but we'll worry about that when we get to that. But first up, let's go ahead and do the price check. A little bit disappointing compared to the Blood Nihils. 3.4 million and about a million GP in my coin pouch means about 4.5 million GP. Blood Nihils are about 5.5 million, so it's a little bit less than Blood Nihils, which is expected with how hard it was to kill them. Combat was just so freaking annoying. That being said, though, Drygores are going to be a little bit cheaper to actually uh, to repair, essentially. All I need is 2,000 chitin, and there we go. Repaired up my Drygores to where they are, or where they were to start out with, for only about 150,000 GP for 2 hours worth of combat. So that's about 75,000 GP apiece. Obviously, do not have the augments on it. Uh, and top of that, we obviously do have a little bit of the Blood Amulet of Fury because I wasn't in combat quite as much. I only degraded about 5% of that. So another about 50,000. We're only looking at about 200,000 repair cost, actually. I am going to go ahead and sell this all, make all the pouches, sell those as well, and figure out how much GP we're going to be making total in 2 hours. So, just instance sold my Ice Nihil pouches. They did sell for probably about 113, 114,000 apiece. And that leaves us with 9.5 million GP. That's not good. Well, it's not bad, really. It's a little bit more than 4.5 million GP per hour, probably about 4.7, 4.8 million GP per hour. But compared to even the Blood Nihils were giving me about 5.5 million GP per hour. You should probably be killing Blood Nihils instead. Obviously, we do have one more type of Nihil to do before we can get the wrapping up point, but this seems to be a pretty poor option, mainly just due to the fact that melee is horrible to try to catch up to these Nihils with. I've literally run around the room like twice before even catching up to one of the Nihils just because he kept running, and there's no way of catching up if they don't target, and if you don't target them, then they can't get barged. And I can't figure out exactly how the combat system works, but it's not good. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this video, though. If you do, hit that subscribe button down below, leave a like and a comment. As always, though, have a good one.